if you want to keep a copy with the questions.
I'll be right here with you.
They're city-related questions.
From Erie Zone Government Access, Channel 9, from the City Hall Council Chambers, it's time once again for the Taxpayers Hotline Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host.
Well, it's City Controller Kaz Kotowski, and who's back?
DJ Barker from Cat TV Channel 2.
You're back. What happened?
I was feeling under the weather.
Everybody is lately.
Yes, now I feel above the weather.
That's always good.
It's all good.
It's crazy weather, though.
Oh, man, it's been crazy. It got nice and spring-like and then gone again.
I got a call from a gentleman trying to do business with the city from Connecticut.
Yeah.
And questioned us about our weather, and I said, we're used to it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Had another gentleman come in from Philadelphia, and boy, he hit the worst day of the year. But, you know, as a tribute to our airport, which, you know, I'm glad they did what they have been. The airport, the flight wasn't canceled. It might have been in the old days.
Right.
But it wasn't this time, you know.
Yeah.
The wind was okay, and
Very good.
he was a little stunned at the size of the airplane, but outside of that,
Yeah.
you know, and he was amazed how quick we responded. I said, well, it's no big deal here.
Yeah. It was great.
The worst thing any mayor could say here was we're shutting down the city or declaring a state of emergency.
Yeah.
Everybody will be out trying to,
Yeah.
it'll be all up at the mall, I can guarantee you that.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, we got it out, and I think our guys did it, you know, last week has been pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. We're getting in our festive mood right now. Our what do we call it? Post-winter, pre-spring.
Post-winter blues.
Yeah, it's crazy, ain't it? Hey, Kaz.
Yeah.
I see they're butchering the trees on 26th Street again.
That's probably that outfit Penlec hired, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they're just, you know, they're like just butchering it, cutting the tree down.
Where is it? West or East 26?
Going out west, but I've seen them a couple places, but it's going out west. I've seen them West 26th Street. I've seen them on Peach Street. And they're not just cutting the middle of the tree. You know, usually cut the middle of the tree out.
Yeah.
They're cutting the whole tree, but they're leaving the stump. They're leaving like 12, 15 foot of it, but they're cutting all the, you know. I thought we had a lady here in the city who, you know, overlooked that. I mean, why plant a tree and then cut it down like that?
I'm going to check with her. She gave me the guidelines one time. You're talking about Sarah. And she gave me the guidelines that, unfortunately, what these companies are doing, they're not cutting them a year at a time. They're cutting the trees like 2 years at a time. I know that's hard to explain. Mm-hmm. They're trying to figure out how they're going to grow and interfere with the wires, so they're doing it on a 2-year basis. While they chop up so much of the tree that the arborist rules in many cases that because you've done that much damage, the tree's basically done. So then they have to cut, you know, a large portion of it down, and basically, this gentleman's right, the tree is gonzo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not, like the tree, they're not taking the stump out.
No, I think they leave, you know what, I'm gonna check with Sarah what the rules are, whether we have to take the stump out or what, but I know it caused a lot of irritation with a local priest on the east side a while back, and I remember when I asked the question, there was if a percentage of the tree is cut for whatever reason, then sometimes the tree's declared gone.
Yeah.
But I will check on it for you, the rules.
Yeah, well, last week when John was talking about this, the city does have the hot pitch out, or the hot stuff. I mean, they have that, they're out doing that, because I've seen them too. And it isn't the, you know, it's the regular hot, you know, what I'm talking about, where they fill the potholes up with. It's not the cold patch, it's the hot patch. But they're not using a roller or tamping it.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get an answer yet this week on that, but I will, you know, try to find out what's wrong with the tamper.
Yeah, and Peach Street, I know you turned that in, but I went under that right there before the new condos they can't sell on Peach Street. I went under there yesterday, and they haven't done anything there. Maybe they might have to close that street down. Maybe that's why they haven't done it yet, you know?
Yeah, that may be a bigger project during the course of the year. I know they're working on the list, and as soon as we get the list, we'll be able to announce it here on the air.
I'm thinking maybe they're just going to, pave it, you know, instead of patch it because it's so bad.
That could be. I imagine the kind of money they've spent on the projects down there and on the streets, I think they're looking at probably a little, but I'll find out.
Yeah, it's dangerous. I mean, it's so dark you can't see, and if you come down here and you don't slow down, I'll tell you, man, you could hit one of them potholes, throw you into another car. I always slow down if someone's ready to run into my ass, you know, because they're not aware that I know they're there, you know.
Yeah, trouble with Erie is, unlike other places, we get the thaw and the freeze, and we get nasty potholes.
Hey, well, guess what, Kaz? You're going to be glad to hear this.
What's that?
Some of the street lights that I've noticed out have been fixed.
Well, maybe maybe you know what I know, that something happened.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to bring that up because, like I said, I ragged on you for that not being done and nothing being done. So, like I said.
And I told you to hang in there because there is a plan.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I see some of them coming on, so something's happening, which is good.
Well, it costs us a lot of money. It's not, you know, a lot of people look at nickels and dimes, but nickels and dimes add up after a while.
Yeah.
And there's
You know what? I think also, if just some of them lenses, if we had someone that could actually just go take that lens down and clean it, because you'll see bird nests in them, and you'll see a lot of dirt. If some of them things were cleaned out, it would probably be brighter, you know?
Yeah, you'd be surprised what happens when, I used to have a job when I was younger, cleaning out lights and stuff in parking ramps. Be surprised what you find in there.
Wow.
I mean, things,
Living things.
live in there, yeah. And he's
Gotta
right.
get in there.
Yeah, you know, the part, like John was saying, that our fellow call-in, they used to work for them, you know, they're down in number of crews. In the old days, they would have gone around and probably done maintenance on them. Now you got to pretty much turn them in.
Well, it's nice to see what's his name back there sit beside you.
What's his name? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to talk to someone once in a while, because if you don't have a lot of phone calls, it gets kind of, you're talking to yourself up here.
I have big ears. I just sit here and listen.
Right. Well, listen, man, I want to give someone else a chance to get in there. I just wanted to call and tell you about them damn trees that they're butchering again. And
I never was happy the way they do that.
Yeah.
You know, I know now we got new laws. I think they're planting trees now in the city that are not as, I don't want to use the term invasive, but they're a smaller growing tree now, so hopefully we won't have those problems in the future. Because I agree with you, you know, if you go through all the trouble of growing these trees, then you chop them, you know?
That's great.
yeah, it doesn't make much sense. So listen, Kaz, I'll let you guys go, and if you're not busy, I'll call back.
Sure, but feel free.
Yeah, they planted some little trees down in front of us when they put the new curb cuts in. We have these there's like 6 trees out in front. They're nice if they don't get too big.
Well, just as long as we take care of them, because I
Yeah.
remember I used to pull out more trees when I worked for the parking authority, because the smog killed them too.
Oh, yeah.
The emissions. Go ahead, caller.
Hello?
How you doing?
Good. I'm still trying to get through.
Oh, we're on now.
You're on the air now.
You are here.
Sorry. I have a problem. I live on 7th and Martin Road.
7th and Marne?
Yes.
Okay.
I live across the street from a park. Well, if you go around the bend here, they use it as a dumping ground.
What, the park?
Yeah. Well, it's across the street from the park.
Ah, okay. Empty field?
Pardon me?
Is it an empty field or?
Yeah, well, it's some shrub around it. I think it's Erie owns the property. But we've been here like 7 years, and I usually go down around the city cleanup to clean it myself. But lately it's got tires down there, furniture, dresser drawers, and it's getting worse every day.
Give me what is it, northwest, northeast, or?
Or northwest.
Northwest corner?
Yeah, yes, northwest corner. Right across the street from the park. Right in the corner. It's a bend. It's a bend on Martin Road.
There's a bin there.
Yeah, you know, when you go up Martin, there's a bend. You go, it's right on Martin. You can't help but to see the garbage. It's just getting terrible.
Okay, we'll see if we can get somebody out there to look at it, okay?
Now, one more thing.
Sure, go ahead.
And on 12th and Bacon, you know where Bacon is on the east side.
Right.
There's a mattress right on the corner. It's been there for like 2 weeks.
On what corner is that, do you remember?
Northeast corner.
Northeast corner.
Yes.
Mattress.
Yep. So you take a dinner, right, as soon as you get on Bacon, there's a mattress right there, right where our fire hydrant is.
I found a couch the other day. I was amazed. I mean,
Oh yeah, it's getting crazy. I don't know. Some people are brazen. I don't
Yeah,
know why do you do that.
people-
If I had a truck, I would pick it up and take it to the dump myself.
people leave it out there and then our guys have to pick it up. It's even before the cleanup.
Yeah.
Sometimes we used to get the college kids would do it, at the,
Yeah.
they were leaving right after the cleanup, so then you find all the,
Yeah, exactly.
But
I see a parks truck every day. I don't. Do they have to have a work order to pick it up or anything, or?
well, if they see it, they're probably supposed to pick it up, but if, it never hurts to like call, now that you called me, I'll call them and tell them to keep an eye out for it.
Okay, yep, that's all I have to say. It's been, my wife goes to work and she comes home, she tells me it's another item down the street. That's all you see.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible, because, it just makes our city look so much,
Exactly.
run down
Yep.
like that, because you get one couch, and pretty soon another chair around it.
Yeah,
And
yep. I'm about to go down there myself and just throw it in the park and let it pile up and see if the city sees it.
Yeah, pretty soon you have furniture city down, not I shouldn't say that, furniture park.
Yep, it's right next to the park, so I'll see if we can get a truck to get out and get it cleaned up.
We'll turn that in, and also that garbage, and see what happens.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Yeah, speaking of things being run down and things being an eyesore, I have a question, I have number 3 on my list, about a garage on the corner of 12th and Peach Street.
it's been brought up many times.
Yes?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller.
Multitasking is very tough for crews.
What is?
Multitasking.
You mean, the electric company?
Anybody. A lot of times they say, well, they're tunnel vision. They only see one thing.
Yeah.
They don't look around. But talking about the electric company, if Lewis calls himself a tree trimming outfit, they're a disgrace to their business.
Well, I did ask Sarah one time, and I said, well, you remember that priest, he went ballistic, and, over by St. Stan's area?
Yes.
And when Sarah explained to me, she said, here's her dilemma. They're allowed to, I guess they're allowed to remove them for public safety, utilities and all that?
They're not removing them for public safety. They're removing them for electric safety. They want to clear the lines away from the tree, or the tree
Right.
away from the line.
But what was explained to me was they're doing it in a 2-year cycle.
Well,
And by doing that in a 2 or 3 year cycle, they're anticipating, and they're chopping more of the tree down than they need to because they're short of manpower. And then when they do that, Sarah says, unfortunately for her, she looks at it and the tree is like, more than one half killed.
who's short of manpower? The utility or the tree trimmers?
No, the utilities are claiming they are, so,
Well, if they would have done the job like Asplin used to do years ago,
yeah.
trimmed the tree to be aesthetically pleasing, they didn't come in and just take the centers out away from the lines. It's the bottom line that's counting.
Oh, is that the electric line, John?
Yeah, well, no, the line in your pocket, the bottom line for the utility company.
Oh, that bottom line.
Yeah, they're thinking only about money. But
Yeah, and then we get stuck having to chop the tree down because basically it's dead.
yes, Sarah should go out with them, and they should have a plan to show her what the plan is. And if there's a problem with the tree, they should address it to the owner of the tree, and the city should sit in on this. It would make more sense to go around. They know where they're going to be cutting. They know where they're going to be trimming. And what's it take to drop another branch to make it look nice?
Yeah, because I hate it when
It's disgusting.
they
It
look
really
like,
is.
they look like goalposts when you watch, going down to,
Yeah, well, go out to Mill Creek and look at those old sassafras trees. It's a wonder they're going to stand up, some of them.
no, that's what trouble is. Sarah looks at him and she goes, well, what can I do there?
You should get Dan Haher in there and have a meeting with him and discuss it. He knows where they're going.
I will talk to her and see what she tells me.
But let's get back to the roads. You know, potholes.
Yeah.
I happen to be going over 12th Street this morning, and from 12th and State, in the north lane, some in the center lane, there's potholes all the way across the bridge down there to Pittsburgh Avenue. Is that a state?
But you're heading on 12th Street, heading west?
West. On the north side or in the center. It's brutal. It's really brutal all the way. I know.
That's a state highway. We'll have to turn that one into PennDOT.
Highway, even in town?
Yes, it is. When I talked to Pete the other day about potholes, he said, you know, that's really the state's concern. Sometimes they give us the right to do it on certain projects.
But this is where multitasking comes in then. If he knows all this, why is he sitting on his desk? Why doesn't he get on that phone and contact them from PennDOT and say, hey...
Let me check to see if there's any reports filed, John. I'll check with my friend the engineer, and we'll see if there's been any, calls to PennDOT.
Well, I guess I'll have to get on the phone and ring a bell. But
It never hurts because...
No, it does. It never hurts. You know, talking about street lights and all that, you're talking about you used to clean in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Or at the parking spots? Ray had you doing it?
No, that was Whitey in the old days.
Whitey, good guy. By the way, he's running for office. But anyway...
I can't say that here, John.
Okay, I won't say it on the air that he's running. But as far as the lights on 38th Street, who cleans the globes of them and cleans them up a little bit? The lighting is cut down about 40%.
Mm-hmm. That might be our responsibility. I'd have to check,
And the lights on Parkway?
Let's see, 38th Street, I think that was a specialized, but the Parkway... There's two...
Highway, Parkway down
There's two segments of that Parkway. The Parkway from... I'm going to call it the area of McClellan to like 6th Street. I think that's ours. But the portion from 6th Street to I-79, I think is the state.
What about on the waterfront from, let's say, the water?
Some of them are Port Authority, some are state.
Then the Port Authority's not cleaning and getting their lights lit either.
Yeah, I don't have the exact breakout. There's some decorative lights were by the Port Authority, but some of the functional street lights, I think, belong to the Commonwealth. There were some weird things John done with anytime there's a problem like on maintenance or poles getting knocked over and stuff like that, and you have to automatically go right to the contracts.
Yeah,
and determine who signed off on who. At one time it was clear cut, but since that time we turned, like if you're down there at the right time, you'll see state plows plowing that highway.
Yeah.
Only up to a certain point.
Yeah, then they peel off and make a turnaround and go the other way.
Right, but the Port Authority also has done some things down there, like with certain access roads and lighting. Mm-hmm. I would like to say I know the entire answer, but I don't. I've been...
There's too many irons in the fire, no one knows what's going on.
Well, yeah, each one has taken responsibility. It's like, even downtown, the Downtown Improvement District has taken responsibility, I believe, for some of the lower lights, Where
they can reach with a ladder, right?
Yeah, because, there was all kinds of papers signed as to who does what, when, where, how. And, that's a job best done for legal and engineering.
That's true. Okay, I'll get off the line. If not, I'll call back.
Okay, have a great day, John.
Take care. Yeah, I think you need a color-coded map. Let's take a big map of the city.
Oh, it's crazy.
And we'll highlight this part red. The city is responsible for this in this section. Just have this big color-coded map.
Well, see, some things are clear, like, because they're state highways.
Yeah.
Like we plow, but we get reimbursed for plowing.
Right,
okay?
right.
Sometimes we don't get reimbursed for doing potholes. Go ahead, caller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Okay. The best way to stay healthy in Erie is don't get a flu shot.
I've never had one, I'm gonna tell you straight.
That's why my family doesn't get them. That's why we stay healthy every year.
My wife gets one, and usually she comes home with the flu at least once.
Exactly. Well, the main reason I'm calling is I called in November of 2011.
Uh-oh.
Asked Pete to fill in the cracks in the cement where it was buckling in on the 1000 block of East 27th Street, and the work still isn't done. I just wonder if Pete wrote down 72 instead of 27.
1000 block of East 27th.
Right behind Holy Rosary School.
Oh,
Only one block long, but the cement is buckling and caving in on, especially on the east end of the block. It's terrible. The only reason I haven't called in earlier is because I don't live down there, but since no one from that block wants to call in, I'm trying to do them a favor.
is that the one down by the old sister's house?
Yeah, where the old Sisters Convent is.
Yeah,
A couple of the cave-ins are, where the road's buckling.
I go to the church all the time, but I always park in the front.
Yeah.
I think I owe myself a ride around the backside.
Just take you'd be surprised if it's real bad. If you drive through that block, you'd think you was in a war zone, that there was bomb craters there. Wow. I couldn't agree with John more than anything else that he said. West 12th Street is about the worst street in the city, all the way, like he said, from State Street to Pittsburgh Avenue on the north side. It's craters all over the place. I don't know why PennDOT or the city won't fill them holes in. And I'm not talking because of the delay now, because of the weather.
Yeah.
Should have been done before the snow hit us here.
Well, I'm going to check into whose responsibility is. Generally, it would be PennDOT's unless there's some kind of arrangement they got worked with us.
Right.
But, like, you'll see them doing Pine Avenue and stuff,
Okay, and the last thing I want to bring up is, and I'm not kidding with this, but every so often on your program, you'll mention it, or some other people, that you need four-way stop signs and so forth.
Right.
Peters and Erie. I'd like to know where these streets are, that I could get behind these people so I can get to my doctor appointments and do my food shopping on time. Because the people I get behind they can't read. They see the 2-5 signs, and you're lucky if they do 1-5.
Oh, you mean they go slow?
I get behind slow people every day. No matter where I go in the city. It's unbelievable the slow drivers we have in this city. They won't even do 25, let alone 35.
No, and
It's just pitiful.
I don't tell people to speed. I never said that, but, if
A
you...
lot of good people in this city, but they're bad drivers.
If you drive with traffic and you're driving in a safe manner, traffic will move.
Hey, talking about you, Cash, you're going to have a problem here. They're going to, that Norman Way Bridge, they're going to close it down until, I think, August or so. So you might have to use that East 30, or West 38th Street from Glenwood Park Avenue to State Street, that section you don't like to use.
No, I don't. What I'm thinking about doing, I want to go in there with a sense of humor. I think I'm going to paint my car green and put a number 3 on there with a white stripe and wear a racing hat. What do you think?
Hey, that section there, you need it. I hit it just right about a week ago. It was a Saturday afternoon, and I was going past the zoo, and there were about 12 cars in the curb lane. I went in the inside lane, and I passed all 12, and as soon as I hit the intersection, it turned green, and I just left all them people in my dust. I couldn't have hit it any better than what I did.
There's my proof.
Like that.
I'm amazed though, a number of people, when they're in that right lane, they're like frozen.
Yeah, they are. That is the worst designed road that Bill Pettit and PennDOT could have come up with. I don't know if our traffic engineer's going after them or not. I have a hunch that she isn't.
Well,
Doesn't have much power there, but that is the worst stretch of road that I've ever seen done in all my years in Erie.
It was told to me that they had the money for the project and that some of the neighborhood wasn't too happy with the design. So because there was such, lack of direction, and there was so much consternation on it, PennDOT does what's easiest, and since no one from either the city or the engineering department at that time decided to push the issue, what they did, they went to the alternative, which is what they made.
West 38th Street from State all the way to Pittsburgh Avenue is a wasted highway. It could be a 4-lane I won't even call it an expressway, but a good 4-lane
Yeah.
road, and it's only a 2-lane alley.
I've been in other cities where, I'm not saying you go 80, you go 70,
Exactly.
but the traffic moves pretty good, and you can get from one side of the town to the other. You know, there is a need.
Government has to complement the people. The people should pay their taxes on time and get the services they deserve. Garbage pickup, streets being repaired, and good traffic movement.
Yep, that's all, you know.
That's all a citizen can ask for.
Yeah, we don't have a good, I know they say Erie's not like other cities, but we truly don't have a road that can get you from one side of town to the other.
Right. Well, I don't want to blame the traffic engineer, but a city of 100,000 should have a full-time engineer.
I will say this about, you know, anytime I've gone to Leanne with a problem, she has come through for me. And she's studied it, and I've always either got an answer. Most cases, like we had a gentleman called up here about a month ago about a one-way sign over there on French Street.
Right.
Week and a half later, we had a new sign put up.
Sweet.
And I talked to her about 38th and Pine. She agrees with me, and that's a state highway. There's, you know, she has to make her presence felt with them. And
Right.
here's like they'll tell you the traffic counting there, but you know, if you live there, you say, well, when are they counting? You know,
Yeah.
or are people finding alternative ways to go around the problems? Which, like I say with 38th Street, a lot of people are taking Norman Way. We're going to find out how many people take Norman Way when they close it down, right?
Okay, well, it was nice talking to you, gentlemen. I'll give somebody else a chance.
You too.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you watch when they close down Norman Way. We'll find out how many people really took it.
Where's Norman Way?
It's about 2 blocks north of the interchange of 38th and Old Perry Highway,
Okay. Yeah.
just up the road, like,
Yeah.
you know.
All right.
A lot of people use that for a shortcut.
Yeah.
You go around a mess. We'll get to your question yet.
Oh, I'm good.
Go ahead, caller.
Okay?
Yes, you're on, ma'am.
Okay. I want a CAS.
Yes.
That's funny, I can hardly hear.
Oh, you know what? You're probably, turn your TV down because we're on delay.
That's what's wrong.
Yep.
Right about something, dumb about it.
Oh, that's okay. I should tell people, remember to turn down your TV because
Right.
we are on delay.
Hey, you know, I was going to ask about this before. You know, when you have your city council meetings,
Yes.
of course, you know where you sit. Well, directly across from you, there are a man and woman that sit at a small desk there.
Right.
Where says one word, and she says 4 or 5 sentences. Could you tell me why they get paid and what do they do? I mean that.
Well, it's a council meeting, number one, and the way they have it set up is the members of council are, of course, lined up behind the city clerk. In my position, on my table, there's room for the city treasurer and the city controller, and across the way is the city solicitor or a representative of that office in case there are any legal questions, and there's also a representative of the mayor's office.
Well, you know what? They very rarely, well, he doesn't say anything, whoever he is, and her, once in a while.
Well, really, you know, what I try to tell people, I don't think they understand, is that the council, it's their meeting, really.
Oh.
And I am a guest of the meeting, just like they are. They will give me a couple minutes at the end of the meeting, but the theory being that you're there if they need any questions answered. For instance, at the beginning of the meeting, my department presents the bills for payment. If there's any questions, then I'm there to answer them. But outside of that, it's their meeting, and I have no more say than the average citizen out there, unless I'm, asked to speak.
Now, I'll hear you talk. I don't mean this nasty, but you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do. A lot of times the solicitor, unless he's asked to give an opinion, he's just there, for, and if he is needed. Yeah. But I understand, what you're saying.
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Bye.
But, yeah, I told people for a long time that a council meeting is just like a school board meeting. It's the meeting of the board, the meeting of the council.
Right.
And even the mayor has no more right to speak at that meeting than the treasurer or the controller or
Right.
the average citizen,
Sure.
Go ahead, caller.
Oh,
Good afternoon, Kaz. How are you?
How you doing? Go ahead.
Okay. Kaz.
You better put your phone back. Set your TV back.
Okay, I will. Right now.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep, it's better for you. You'll be able to hear us.
Okay. Kaz, above 32nd Street on the west side, how come there isn't alternate parking signs up?
On the west side of town?
On the west side of town, 32nd up. How come there isn't alternate signs so people move their cars during the winter?
I think it probably has to do with the fact, and I'm only guessing, I wasn't there when they passed that years and years ago.
Yeah.
But it would probably, I don't have them on the east side of town either.
I know you don't.
And I think it probably more or less relates to the fact that most of those houses now have driveways.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, no, I'm thinking that because like where my mother lives, she lives on the below 32nd.
Right.
And she has a driveway, but it's actually non-functional.
Yeah, I know, but then you got cars below 32nd coming up in here and park and leaving their cars and trucks up here for over a week's time, and the plows got to go around them. That's not right.
There's a 72-hour rule, I think.
Yeah, but you can't depend on it. They got more.
Oh, you're right.
Than tagging cars. I think if there was signs on the east side and the west side above 32nd Street, you would eliminate a lot of congestion for plows. That plows, they got to go around them.
I agree. Even on my street, where everybody has a functional driveway, and I say functional meaning they're usable.
Yeah.
They're not shared driveways. They're adequate in size. I'm amazed that our guys have to go around car after car after car.
And truck too. Hey, I got a truck here on the side of my house here. It's been there for over a week.
It's because they don't want to clean their driveways, and B.
Yeah, and they live down the street a block away, so they park them up here and they block everybody coming in.
The only thing I can tell you is that you'd probably have to get a petition amongst the people in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And petition council to change it by ordinance.
Yeah, it'd be good from October to April the 1st.
You don't even have any snow cleaning up there at all, right?
What's that?
There's no snow cleaning signs or anything, right?
No, nothing. The plows do a good job. I got to tell you that for all these cars that are parked all around. They got to go around and sometimes they come back and, try to get it a little better. I got to give the city a lot of credit there because they do keep the streets clean.
Oh, yeah, I watched my street and I'm thinking, I don't know how the guy plowed it because my street's not real wide, but he had to go in and out, in and out, in and out.
I know. You got to give the guys credit for what they have to do. And for these people that just leave their cars and trucks on the street.
The trouble with the in and out is if the guy screws you up enough, it's your driveway that don't get cleaned out then.
Yeah.
You're looking, you got a wide swath and...
Yeah, I understand.
My suggestion would be, is to either contact a councilman, get a petition going, have them do a study, they may or may not, find out the reason why they wouldn't want to do it,
Yeah, maybe I'll contact you after the primary.
You're not saying anything.
Okay, Ken.
Okay.
Thank you for your help.
We'll see you.
Okay, bye.
Getting back to your thing, that one is a real nightmare. I have looked at that. We've had nothing but complaint after complaint. Go ahead, caller.
Did I hear you correctly?
What's that?
That contact city council to this last gentleman and get an ordinance on the books?
Well, the ordinances are, here's the thing, the signs I do believe are put up by ordinance and are only for specified areas of the city.
I understand that. I don't want to talk about the off-site parking.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the ordinances.
Yeah.
What good are the ordinances in that book down in that city hall? They're not worth the paper they're printed on.
Well, it depends who's...
Any of them. You have your code enforcement, you have your sidewalk enforcement. Where are they enforcing the ordinance?
Well, the trouble now, if you don't have any ordinance, you don't have anything at all then.
What the hell? We're Wild West anyways in this town. So we don't need any ordinance. We'll take care of it ourselves.
I mean, I know what that guy's saying because I look at the same mess on my street and I'm going,
I understand.
Come on, you guys all got driveways. What are you doing, you know?
No, you got a guy last week. He called and he's got garbage all over, and the city won't do anything. Zimmerman won't go out. His enforcement team won't go out.
I remember the way I had to get something done was I had to threaten to fill it in with my own shovel and dirt. Do you remember that fire hydrant on Glouth Avenue, right?
Yes.
They were out there because I said,
That's a different department.
I was going to go out there and fill it in myself, but I was going to call Channel 35 first. So.
That's the water department. That's not the city of Erie.
No, but I mean, it's the same, you know, if you don't get response, then you have to do it kind of like what Mario used to do in the old days. You go out and do it yourself.
Well,
You know, you go out there and you say, you know what? You go out there, John, and you clean up yourself and call the newspaper.
I had a fire plug. You didn't even know there was a fire plug up here. And finally, some gentleman was up cutting the field. It's a city field.
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, do you have any work order about cleaning this fire hydrant? He said, no, but I'll do it.
My suggestion is you call up, and if it doesn't get done, then you cut it, but
I called a half a dozen times.
But if you want to get it done for effect, and I don't care if people get mad at me, call up the media and have them come down and take a picture of you doing it.
A lot of times the media won't come to it because you're stepping on somebody's toes.
Well, there's 3 channels and many radio stations, and
There's another channel.
yeah, there's another channel too. It doesn't have the Arbitron ratings, but
Yeah, but he can't run up and down the street with that camera on his back and be the cameraman and the announcer and everything else.
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, maybe I should come and work with him.
If you come down to the station, we can have you make your own show, and you can go around and you can do
oh my God,
everything.
People pay money to see that.
I can
Yeah.
do anything I want on my own show, or is
Yeah.
it censored?
You can say, as long as you're not cussing and you're not violating public standards, you can do anything you want.
Uh-oh, can you imagine him on TV? Oh, man.
Okay, I'll get off. I still have a few more.
What are we going to call that show?
So we'll keep watching.
How about the Bacala Banya Roll? How about that?
Talking about Bachagaloop, huh?
There we go.
I don't know what that is.
The city council meeting was really something the other day. I'll get off, and if not, I'll get back.
Okay. Now, getting back to your problem.
I have a lot of problems, Kaz.
Well,
but, you know,
12 and Peach, I'm gonna, you know, not you said that, I'm gonna check on that.
Oh, you can keep the list.
But I mean, I'm gonna make sure I highlight it, but, go ahead, caller.
Hello, Kaz, are you going to be on next week?
Good question because of the holiday.
That is a good question. I would like to know as well.
Yeah, good question because of the holiday.
Can you get John Steiner to, he did a good job the last time.
That's possible, I can probably ask him.
Oh, okay, that would be good if you can contact him or...
Yep, I will take a look at it.
Okay, thanks, Kat. You don't think you're going to be out of town Monday?
No, I think my wife has to go back to school.
Oh,
So, yeah, I think I have to be back to work, I know that, so I think I'll be here. We'll find out, though.
so, okay.
If not, we'll put a little creeper on the TV screen. Okay?
What TV screen?
During the week, we'll put a little something on there to tell you that we won't be on the air.
Oh, on Channel 9?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know there was a creeper on that channel.
Well, he can put something up there like not necessarily a creeper, but a crawl, another page, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, or else I hope you can get someone like John Steiner to post a show if you can't.
Yeah, John and DJ do a good job.
I will not be here, unfortunately.
Okay?
Thanks, Kaz.
Okay.
Good holiday.
You too.
Yeah.
That one has been turned in so many times, and I know they're aware of it.
Yeah.
At one time, it looked like it had weeds growing up through there. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Wow. Sounded good.
Aliens.
Voices from above.
You never know, though.
I don't
I
know.
was reading this little article about the UFO landing on the peninsula.
Oh, really?
Somebody forwarded it to me.
Oh. Interesting.
I'm afraid to talk about this.
I am. Okay, we could talk about anything else on the list if you'd like. I have a number of different questions.
Actually, any word or McBride, but, ooh, I knew it. Go ahead, caller.
Yes,
a
I
good
know
thing-
the answer to this question. Maybe you can help me out. Bayfront Sheridan Hotel,
Right.
is that taxable?
You know, I don't know. I would have assumed it would have been, but I also think it's getting, if I'm not wrong, I think it's getting some kind of help on parts of it from the convention center.
Well, as far as I know, it's owned by the convention center.
Well, it's, you know what? It's, there's a group managing it. I don't know who actually owns it. That'd be a good question, and I can find that out.
Right.
There
You
is,
know, I
but-
don't think it's fair for like the government, the convention center or whatever, to be in competition with private enterprise.
Well, they had a lawsuit, and it didn't work out too good for the
I'm
private sector.
mentioning like Nick Scott, who invests a lot of money in the city and in Peak and everything,
Right.
and he pays taxes. He does not get any help from being tax exempt. But you know, like the Civic Center, that who I believe owns the Bayfront Sheridan, that's one of the most expensive properties on the Bayfront, and they should be paying taxes. They're going to claim they're not for profit, but believe me, with the rates they charge, they are making money.
Well, the only way they could probably be, they wouldn't be a nonprofit, that would be stretching it. They could have got a tax break for, let's say, that portion of the land, developing it, because of new construction, and they might be getting some aid, some kind of compensation from the convention center through the room tax, but I wouldn't think that in any way, shape, or form they qualify as a tax exempt.
But you know, that's not fair to people who are in private enterprise.
No, absolutely not. And in fact, many of them filed a lawsuit or complained, but it was rolled against them.
Would you please look into it, please?
Sure, I will find out. I got to believe that they probably got some kind of help, but I don't think they're tax exempt entirely unless they were granted a tax exempt status based on a few years in building that building. We'll find out, though.
Well, you know, like if they do get help, Nick Scott should get help too.
Well, he's got plans for the other side. I don't know when that's going to be announced or.
Well, I just hope he gets the same type of a deal that the convention center got on Bayfront Sheridan.
I know that one went to the court and it was tied up for a number of years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what I'd like to see Nick Scott do with that other side?
Water park?
Not another water park. No, I love Splash Lagoon.
Yeah.
No, that smokestack, I think it should be dressed up to look like a lighthouse, so that people coming in off of the Bayfront connector, they see this nice, beautiful, pristine lighthouse to represent Erie.
I am positive that, that's entering, I think he does own that.
Yeah.
That's entering into, at one time, I was on the school board, and they were talking about, they were actually going to blow up that tower.
Ooh.
It was going to be done during New Year's,
Happy
New
Year.
They were going to implode it, The problem is it's got material in there that's not good to be blown up. Go ahead, caller.
Ted,
Yeah, you're coming in. Can you hear us? The trouble is there's like bad toxins in there and stuff.
Yeah, it's
But
all
it's been a bone of contention what to do with it. But I think deep down they're going to have to either take it down or dress it up.
Yes, it's filled with asbestos and plutonium or something. I don't know what's
Well,
really
whatever
bad.
was done in there for years.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
Ted,
Yes,
you probably won't be on next Monday because it's Dingus Days.
it's Dingus Day.
What is Dingus Day?
Oh, that's right. It's a Polish holiday. I can't.
Oh.
So you'll be there,
Are you going?
probably.
You want to tell this gentleman what they do there, do you?
No, let him come and find out.
You.
Oh, boy.
So that's about it. good, huh?
Yeah. Maybe I'll explain what Dingus Day really is.
Yeah, there you go. I'll see you.
I hope
Okay.
so. I've been called a dingus, but I don't know what that is.
Are you married?
No, sir.
Oh, you'd like it then. That's all I'm going to tell you. It'd be worth it. Go down to Falcons, have a good time, and bring an extra set of clothing.
Oh, my goodness.
Go ahead, caller.
I'll let you have my switch
What's that?
for your dingus day.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't know what this is about, you know that?
All them big guys beat their wives.
I'm looking
Well,
at
no, it's the other way around. I told him, I said,
Oh.
bring another set of clothing.
You know, the gentleman was talking about the Sheridan. I asked you that question a couple of weeks ago, and it slipped me this morning when I was down at the treasurer's office. I was going to ask Sue if they were on the tax roll.
I'm going to go a little further. I'm going to find out what kind of deal arrangement they got with the, the convention center.
Well, probably the same deal that McAllister place is going to get.
Because, I'm not sure where the money goes from the room tax, whether it goes indirectly.
It goes to the convention center, it goes to the chamber,
It might be-
goes to Casey Wells, they split it all up.
See, I'm thinking they might have built the hotel for the Sheraton, and the Sheraton manages it,
I know I understand they get $1 for everybody that parks there.
That we'll find out that too.
But you talk about McAllister Place, they'll probably get a tax exempt and everything else, and I don't know if that's a KOZ zone down there, but there's old Nick Scott trudging along using his dollars and cents.
Yeah, that's one thing about,
The people who are suffering on the end is us poor taxpayers that pay 100% and we don't get a write-off.
But it'd be interesting to watch Luke Ravenstall down in Pittsburgh.
He's bailing out.
Yeah, well, he's bailing out, but he's now taking on the hospital as his new job.
Well, everybody's going to watch that up here.
Pardon?
Everyone's going to watch that up here.
Oh, yeah, because I'll tell you what, if he breaks the bubble on nonprofits down in Pittsburgh, that'll be a landmark decision.
But the city solicitors aren't bright enough to put an escape clause in there if it's an event, because they sign on a 5 or 10 year pact, just like they did with the water department.
Mm-hmm.
They signed a 20-year pact, and there's no way of getting out of it.
Yeah, that's a bad point, but, hey, if this changes, it's going to change, it may...
It should change 100% for all the nonprofits.
But even if it doesn't, John, even if it takes all the new agreements that aren't on paper, bring a lot of revenue to the city.
That's the whole thing here. All the people are leaving the city. And the people that are here, let's say, stuck to the concrete, they're putting up the 40 or 50% of the tax burden.
Yep, I'm hoping that he's successful, because I think we need dialogue. We really need serious dialogue on how to treat the whole situation. I mean...
We should get into the land tax.
Well, yeah, that was a mistake many years ago.
Okay, have a great day.
And we're paying for it now with all the empty fields.
I'll talk to you.
Oops, sorry, John. We got a lot of empty fields because of that.
Yeah.
Land tax would tax land based on the value, not just the house that's on it.
Right.
So it kind
Just
of
the fact
forces
that-
you to put a house on there.
Yeah. Wow.
So you develop it. Yeah, we're going to look at that 12th one before we say too much. That one,
Yeah.
that's been there a long time. Give me another one there, though.
What are you guys doing with the Perry 200? I was wondering, about the city's involvement.
Actually, that's being done more by that committee.
Yeah.
But I did talk to Mr. Rocco, and he's being kept abreast of, and the city is too, whenever they seemingly are going to need city facilities or...
Right.
But the actual event's being planned by Bill Garvey, Joyce Savacchio, that group.
Okay.
And it's pretty much, they're getting the cooperation of neighboring communities. Yeah. I don't know if the city itself is going to do anything directly.
Right.
But they're lending all their expertise and helping them get through all the, if they want this park, that park, they want this street closed off,
Right. I know there's going to be a parade.
It's supposed to be a parade of, it's the biggest one we've had since, I'm trying to remember we had the last one, which was, my daughter was in college. It was,
Tall ships?
No, before that, it was like a sesquicentennial or something like that, or... Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz.
Yes.
I wanted to call back just to say, just from listening to the show today, we have a huge problem with the lights and the roads. We have too many people, that has to answer for them. Why can't one people take care of the roads, and the electric company should be taking care of the lights? I mean, the Port Authority shouldn't be taking care of lights. The city shouldn't be taking care of lights. That way there, it just seems like, whenever somebody has a problem or you have a light that needs fixed, there's always the passing of the buck. And I'm not claiming you, because this isn't your problem. And maybe that's why it was set up that way. Just like the roads. Part of the road on 12th Street, the state's responsibility, other parts the city. Well, no matter whose part of the problem it is, patch the roads and fix the lights. It's ridiculous that we don't know who owns what lights, or we don't know who's supposed to fix the roads. I mean, don't you think so?
Oh, I do. I mean, I find it hilarious when you see state plows stop at 12th and Pittsburgh, and then our plows pick up from there heading out to the other direction, east.
Right.
And then the state picks up again maybe out there,
I wanted to, and I know we're almost out of time, I wanted to tell you this last week, and I didn't say it, but I wanted to call back. On 13th Street, between Parade all the way to Ash, the street is it's like rubble strips. I don't know if there was something underneath there, maybe a trolley at one time, but I was wondering why the city, like down at the far end of 13th Street, why they patched right down the middle of the road, and on the left side and the right side they didn't patch. I don't mean patch like potholes. I mean like they did a whole strip of repaving the road.
Yeah.
But on 13th Street between Parade and Ash, that whole road is buckled. I mean, it's like rumble strips driving over it. So
I wonder if there was tracks in there.
Yeah, something was underneath there, obviously, because the other it's just that one block that road's not done like that. The rest of 13th Street has been redone, where they did like the middle of the street, repaved it all the way down. So it's just that one block. But there's definitely, like I said, it's bad. But it'd be nice if, I'm sorry, I keep getting the guy's name next to you.
DJ.
Yeah, CJ. He has a nice suggestion about making type of color code of, if that's how it's going to be, which lights are the cities, which lights the Port Authority, which lights are the states. And that way there, when the light's burned out, we would know who to contact instead of waiting and having for people to get back to each other, because it's a safety issue, even the roads. But I'll let you go, man. It's past your time.
Yeah, I want to thank the callers today because we had a lot of questions.
I had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about. And
thanks to the people, we never got through to it.
This has been a good day.
Yeah, it has been. You still there, sir?
Yep, okay, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks for calling, man.
All right.
Yeah, I want to thank the callers. I mean,
I could not get a word in edgewise
That's
today,
good,
and
though.
I finally have things to talk
I
about.
love a show that's like that. Don't you?
That means I have to come back.
Well, yeah, that's okay.
That's good.
So before we go off the air,
Yeah.
wish you a happy Easter.
Yeah, happy Easter.
But I'd be remiss if I didn't say a happy Passover to my Jewish friends.
Yes,
I believe it starts tonight
I do not know. but
at
if it
sundown.
does,
So happy Passover. Have a great Easter, Holy Week,
yeah.
and
Hopefully you'll be on Monday, and we'll see you.
I'll contact you.
Yeah, I won't be available, but I might send someone. You know that's dangerous.
But want to thank the callers. It was a great show. One of the greatest ones we've had.
It was nonstop. It was crazy.
I never even got to put the disclaimer in. It's your show, so.
Yeah.
Hey, with that, we'll go off the air. And
Okay.
DJ, thank you once again.
Yes, you too.
And thank you, Mike, in the back room.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike, you want to come out? No, he won't come out.
Come on. It's open mic night. Get it? Oh, there he is.
He took us off the air.
No, I think we're still on. We're going off now.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Taxpayers Hotline Show. on Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9.